purpose was to go out and save souls, but we didn't hone into our own individual ministries and then connect them together, and then elevate up. And we didn't hold each other accountable for a lot of the stuff that we did. You know, a lot of us just was like, well, she did this, and it was a lot of clicks. Now, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a clique. I would say some of us are just more comfortable with others. However, we also don't mind extending ourselves to the new people. Like, I'm neutral. I think I'm myself pretty neutral. I don't mind laughing with anybody. But then there are just others that can handle my personality, so I draw to them more. But that doesn't mean I won't, go hang out with someone new or not. And I think, like I said, we grew up and we hold each other accountable for stuff now. If we have a problem versus going around talking to each other about it, now we'll just pull whoever it is aside, and we realize also that we're kind of famous now, so we can't do stuff in the open like we would do it before. People are watching us, and that kind of scares us in a good way.
It scares me. Malik?
Fully agreeing with everything that Shabby said. Me as a person, and I don't really think of myself as, I'm an original member, yada, yada, yada. I can say personally that I've had to mature a lot. And I can only speak for myself. I can only speak for my life and stuff like that. Being on the choir from day one, there came a time that I never thought, I would not be on the choir. But that time happened, and I had to grow up. We had to be all matured. And I think that's what's so amazing. You look at what's important. You look at the fact that this is a God ministry. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? This is a God ministry. And when you look at the fact that this is a God ministry, you have to handle it as such.
Right.
And so I think one of the things that over the course of the 5 years, I think people started to see, and it probably took place with how God kind of like elevated or is elevating Pastor Vincent and stuff like that. And I think there's one thing that he would say all the time. Like, you can't wait for people. You have to just go ahead on and let them catch up. And I think that's kind of what's happening. I think people are seeing that this is a serious thing, and if we don't kind of catch up to that, you're just not going to fit in, and you're going to feel it. So,
I agree.
Anybody else?
I agree with everything that they both said. I think that the choir is definitely matured from 1203 Myrtle, and I think a lot of it has to do with pastors maturing and pastors' growth. Because there's no way you can be connected to a leader and not grow with them. So I feel like a lot of us kind of got our growth and our maturity and our elevation through his elevation. Not just, him being a pastor, but him getting closer to God, him being more in tune with God's will and what he wants for his life. I personally absolutely love this whole entire choir. That's why I haven't left yet in this 5 years. Because
I thought about it.
25 more.
Because plenty of people why don't you? You don't need to be with them. You don't fit in with them. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. So, there it is. But I really enjoy things like this. And of course, it's not as many people as it used to be, but like Daniel said, the people wean themselves out that are really not supposed to be here. I've learned in all of my 27 years of living that you can't take everybody with you. And as much as you may want to, and as much as you may want people around, it's not meant for everybody to go to the next level with you. So I really, really thank God for everybody. I thank God for Pastor. I just want us to keep going and keep growing and keep striving and keep pushing on the way Momo taught us to.
That's right.
Because this is all for her. And she taught us not only to praise, but to pray. And in our prayer, not just to pray what we want, but to pray God's will. And I just want God's will to be done in us. Because we've come really far, but we got a lot further to go.
Yes.
And that's about it.
Amen. Grace.
I think that, of course, everybody on point, but I think the reason why I think that we're really, really, advancing is because I feel like in our own time and even as a group, we learn to deal with each other in a positive way. I think during like the Glory Tabernacle days, we just isolated ourselves to who we met first.
Right.
And I think that once we kind of let that aside and we just started dealing with people better, then things really began to change, and our character as individuals and even as a group just skyrocketed, because now we can just say hi and love on each other equally with the love of Christ with no issues. So I think that was a great advancement from then and now. I think that's what Mobo always, exuded. She was a class on her own, which we are as a group, but she knew how to deal with people and she knew how to love on people. So once we got that kind of piece, things were always changing for us, and I really love that about us. I'm here to stay, and what I'm grateful that just being a part of this ministry even kind of was a driving force to my own solo ministry.
Yeah.
And so, because I wasn't going to do this, but God called me different. So I'm grateful that I listened to him and I listened to my peers in order to, go with what God told me to do. But I think character-wise, we've come a long, long way. And I love y'all dearly.
And Shabi.
I just want to add something. In my own personal life, I had to mature for my own reasons. I came at SOV wild. And it's an ongoing joke, but SOV really saved my life. I mean, off and on, my hair is red. But I came it was red. I came to choir.
Well, it's blue now.
Well, that's just today.
Black underneath there.
Okay. I came with short shorts, no lens in my glasses. I had 2 baby daddies. I was living uptown on Section 8 on welfare.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
married now.
Yeah.
I live in
Yes,
a house in
Lord.
the word.
Hallelujah.
I'm a missionary. Hopefully, minister in training. I mean, I had to grow up, and I thank God for my pastor. I thank God for Mobo, the founder. I thank God for Star, because those 3 people really kept pushing me, even when there were times when I flipped out and I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to be around. And it feels very good to be back around. I haven't been on a weekend overnight trip in a long time, in a very long time. And it feels good to be back with my homies, and I love y'all.
Relax, Charlie.
I was gonna say anything, because I'm not new, but I'm not old, but I'm not new. I think what happened for me was learning what it meant to be understanding. I don't sing with my church choir. I don't know where this video is going. I really don't care if it gets on Facebook. I don't sing with my church choir. I don't sing with anybody's choir. I've been in several groups, and the reoccurring theme was once I became close to whoever, whether it was the person in charge or the person who had around them, it became just not good. So for me, I shied away from being in group, but it also had to come to me as being understanding of what part you played and what part they've played, and accepting your responsibility and accepting what you need to do to now move forward. I am not used to intercessory prayer in public. This is something I did in private. That man over there gave me an assignment, and now I do it. But it wasn't until he gave it to me to now where now my church accepts me. It can be very hurtful to be in a place where you're not accepted. Even though you say it's okay, it's really not okay to sit amongst people who say they believe in you and they don't. It's easier for a person to say it, because as long as they say it and you're not actually doing it, they actually can say, well, I told her this is who she was. But they're uncomfortable as soon as you start operating. So I was in a place where people didn't want me to operate, but they said they wanted me to operate. So I'm sitting like this. So now I'm sitting on a gift, and now I'm sitting on all of this, and I'm sitting on being abused. I'm sitting on losing 3 babies. I'm sitting on being married and having the crap beat out of me. This is stuff that my own church doesn't even know. So coming here It was, okay, at least sit, get healed, do what you have to do, so now that you can be effective and minister to the world.
Wow.
So I don't ever think that I'm above apologizing. I don't ever think that I'm above accepting where I am, because this is not the last time that things will not always be together. We're always gonna have something because we're people, but it's all about getting it right and accepting your part. Not shouting with you, that's not an apology. Not crying, that's not an apology. Opening your mouth and saying, you know what? This is the part that I've played. Even if the other person doesn't accept their part, you do what you're supposed to do. And that's what I learned here. So now that I've been gone out of my church for almost 2 months, which nobody knew, I can now go back to my church and say, you know what? I was on the road between Bishop Shante Younger and being around those people. I now know. Accept your part, know your role, and just go with it. Because why? You still have something to do. You still have a charge to keep and a God to glorify, no matter how it's in shambles. Do what you're supposed to do, accept your part, and keep it moving. So I think for me, it was understanding that what people deal with or how they're acting towards you may not have nothing to do with you. It may be something at home. Some people sit in the hospital, you don't know. Nobody knew I was in the hospital for excessive bleeding but pastor. So when I came back, I was just like, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Crying at night, don't want to deal with this anymore. Staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So I think if we be more understanding to where there may be something else going on with somebody before they come here, not to say let anybody disrespect you, no. But at the same time, be understanding that they may be on their last meal. They may be on their last dime. They may not have no heat. They may not have no air. They may not have the necessities or the things that you have. A husband, a boyfriend, flowers. I've never received flowers before. So if you come around, you flaunt it, and I may just feel down for the moment. So if we're more understanding to that, I think that we'll mesh more together, even more as more people come in, new people come in. I'm being more understanding that, okay, new people have to come in. I told him not to open a choir again. I was done. I was like, no, I'm good with this bunch. But I'm like, okay, no, get to know more people, because you never know who you're meeting. So understanding.
That's at least 2.0.
Jenny, and then Kitty.
Jamanda said something that stuck out. She was like, how people will say, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, you don't fit, you know what I'm saying, with that group. And when you look at puzzle pieces, they're all different.
Come on here.
Now, so when you put them all together, you know, that those
You need me to help him preach.
Say the name flat.
Where you going? You need to help him preach.
Alright, no, so that being said, like, I mean, I've heard the same thing, you know what I'm saying, and then when I was younger, you know what I'm saying, being distant from the choir, but knowing people in the choir, I have my own opinions, you know, and that kind of, you know, that formed how I depicted the choir and itself. But, you know, it's crazy how people always talk about the negative things. The negative things will always get out, but the positivity, you know, kind of stays where it is. You know what I'm saying? Even within the family, if somebody tells you all the bad things, if, you know, we all have issues in whatever family, whether it's minute or great, you know what I'm saying? But if somebody just says, this is all the issues that my family has, but then never talks about the love, of course you don't want to be a part of that family, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, me being around and me getting to know I'm mad cool with everybody. Like, I speak to anybody, whoever, you know, that's just how I am. And I mean, just being around and seeing all the different people, it's a lot that this choir has to offer, because it's not just a choir, but it's really a ministry. You know what I'm saying? And in that, you know, seeing people minister to other people, you know, knowing where people's at, knowing how to deal with people, this helps us when we leave and we go deal with other people.